all, 5 laps the distance, and $10,000 winner take all for this one. It's a great initiative by Honda and the organisers of the Honda Indy 300. We saw Marcus Ambrose emerge as a winner of this competition last year on the streets of Surfers Paradise, a relative unknown in his home country. But boy, everyone knows who Marcus Ambrose is now. It hasn't taken him long to establish himself as one of the big guns in V8 supercar racing.
Will's done a great job this year in Formula 4 terms, as you mentioned. 5 wins, second in the series. And these starting positions for this race are the finishing positions from yesterday. Canto said he lost it on the start to Will Power yesterday, and Power makes another ripper of a start. Can Dean Canto stay in touch with him? As they run down the highway for the first time, Power takes the lead.
Yeah, good start from Will Power. Didn't get the power down well. In these front-wheel drive Integras, they've got a lot of power.
Oh, contact! Jamie Whincup has been hit there by Peter Hackett, but he hangs on to third position.
As they head up toward turn 3 for the first time through the Energex S's. You can see them all forming a line now, but these two breaking away at the front. Will Power has got his mirrors full of Dean Canto as they sweep around up toward turn 3. Cellular one turn, hard on the brakes. Really standing these standard road cars on their noses. You can see them squirming and moving around under brakes. Standard road car suspensions, very potent weapon. I guess you could say this is Honda's version or weapon to take on the legendary WRX Subaru. It's 147 kilowatts of power from the VTEC 4-cylinder engine, which is quite extraordinary. Only V8 engines were putting out that sort of power only a few years ago. Front-wheel drive, 2-litre engine. And a very, very quick motor car. Will Power getting into the brakes here as they swing up toward the WorldCom S's. It's got Dean Canto right behind him. These two already on the opening lap have opened up a big gap over third place.
This is the new model Honda Integra Type R. Canto is much closer this time around to Will Power than he was in the opening race yesterday. He knows that's the key. He said he made a mistake at the start. Howard got the jump yesterday, and he really couldn't do anything about reeling him in. Incidentally, Canto set his quickest lap on the final lap of yesterday's race. They're all racing on Falcon tyre groove slicks. They're a pretty hard compound too, and all of the drivers have said they've had 2 sets to play with across the weekend, but most of them have elected to stay with the one. They've found them pretty durable.
Look at how hard Will Power is pushing that car. It's standing right up so far that the rear wheel is coming off the ground. Keep in mind this is a front-wheel drive configuration, very nose-heavy with the engine and gearbox all combined in one unit over the front axle.
Jamie Whincup did a good job yesterday. He qualified 7th. He said he went the wrong direction with tyre pressure choice in the wet qualifying session on the Friday, but came through in the race to finish 4th. Never driven a road car with a roof on it. He's a former go-karter and has been campaigning in the Formula 4 Championship this season, Jamie Whincup, and a lot expected of him in 2002.
He's coming up behind Peter Hackett, and he's been very successful in Australian Formula 3 racing. The oldest driver in the field. He's in fact turned 26 since the nominations were made for the entry to this race. But he's a man showing a lot of speed. He's raced in the British Formula 4 Championship. Currently a senior instructor for Mercedes-Benz, Porsche and the John Bow Institute of Driving.
He's actually just come back from a test in the UK, Mark, with Team Carlin, and he'll be running for them in the Formula 3 street race in Macau in the not-too-distant future alongside Takuma Sato.
Fantastic to see Will Power doing well in the Young Guns race. He came very, very close to winning the Australian Formula 4 Championship this year. A brilliant drive by Adam Macro a few years back. And Will Power really pushed Will Davison very hard in this year's championship. Unfortunately, just had a couple of bad rounds, which really blunted his challenge. But he's still a very, very quick driver. Local driver too, based in Queensland.
Hackett has all but wrapped up the Australian Formula 3 Championship this season. Here's Owen Kelly. He started off the back row of the grid today. He had some dramas in the opening qualifying session. They had to change engines in that car, and he had contact with Troy Hunt and damaged the left rear guard on that car and cut a tyre yesterday, so that forced him into the pits. So young Owen Kelly, who teamed up with Paul Romano in the Holden Young Lions team at Bathurst, is gradually working his way up the order, now in 8th position.
So the order: Will Power, Dean Canto, Peter Hackett in 3rd, but he's 3.7 seconds behind that leading pair. Jamie Whincup in 4th, Luke Youlden in 5th, Manderson in 6th, Mark Winterbottom, the winner of the Ford Kart Stars Championship this year, Owen Kelly, Hunt and Macro rounding out the top 10.
Winterbottom and Hunt are old foes, I guess, if you like, from the karting days. They're still very young. I should use the word old. They're only separated by about 5 days in terms of their birthdays. Hunt's the older of the two. But for these young guys, it's their first experience in a tin-top racing car. And one of them was saying to me that he's never even driven a front-wheel drive road car before. So
yeah, plenty of adjustment. Dean Canto's done well. Boy, he's an impressive youngster, isn't he? Just 21 years of age. Works as a panel beater at his dad's premises in Sydney, and starting to cut a career for himself in V8 Supercars. Had an impressive drive at the V8 Supercar 1000. And Mark Winterbottom is now peeled off into pit lane. Not quite sure what the reason for that is, whether it's a mechanical failure or whether he may be serving a stop-go penalty, Rusty.
It's interesting. Adam Macro copped a stop-go yesterday for curb hopping. Could that be the drama for Winterbottom? On top, Will Power, just like yesterday. Dean Canto in 2nd from Hackett. Good action going on here on the streets of the Gold Coast. Join us for more on the other side of this. Surface Paradise at its absolute best. This is the Honda Indy 300 and this is the Honda Young Guns, one of the many support races on the calendar here this weekend. Peter Hackett right now in 3rd position. He's all but wrapped up the Australian Formula 3 Championship. There's Luke Youlden back in 5th now. Dean Canto, this is what happened just as we were about to go to the break, took the lead away from Will Power. That's a big late braking manoeuvre.
Yeah, nicely done though. Didn't lock a brake or anything, just stuck the nose of that car right in there. So it didn't give Will Power a chance to retaliate. So Canto, 2.7 seconds the gap now. So he's really pumping it out there. Will Power in 2nd, Hackett still in 3rd, Whincup in 4th. This is the battle between Hackett, Whincup and Luke Youlden. Owen Kelly a little bit further back. Mark Winterbottom, we just saw him peeling off down pit lane.
Oh, look at that.
And now Cameron, with his eagle eye, has picked a $100 note just floating around in the breeze there.
Do you get to jump the fence and grab that? I don't think so.
Someone's going to get it.
Neil Cropton's just done the bolt out of the commentary box. Incidentally, just talking about Mark Winterbottom there, he did have some engine problems in yesterday's race. He was 4th early on, but lost some engine revs and was down on engine power. The Honda technicians have been really good, the Honda guys, working with the team of youngsters here this weekend. They replaced the computer, the catalytic converter. He got very close to the wall there, but it's obviously not fixed the problems for Winterbottom's car. Youlden, you can see the mirror dragging there. He's come close to the wall a couple of times during this race. Gee, Dean Canto has cleared out, hasn't he? Yeah,
it's very quick lap times now. He's got a clear bit of road in front of him. There's only one other car in the field running in the 2-minute 23 bracket. That's Whincup, a 2:23.41. Canto, the race leader, a 23.03. So he's cutting some very fast laps, Canto. 2.7 seconds the gap, and here he is, our race leader. And you've got to give him a rap because he's done such a great job for Ford Tickford Racing in the endurance races for V8 Supercars this year. Teamed up with the veteran Jim Richards, and they brought that car home in a very strong 5th place in the V8 Supercar 1000 at Mount Panorama.
We're on our way home here, Mark. Dean Canto on course to take out the Honda Young Guns for 2001, and a nice 10 grand prize check coming his way. The 2000 Konica Series champion wins it on the streets of the Gold Coast. A convincing victory at the end too. Will Power 2nd, and Peter Hackett will finish 3rd.
Yeah, that was great, the way he got in front of Will Power, then he just really started to sprint away. Dean Canto, nice clear bit of track in front of him, could really concentrate putting together some clean, tidy laps. It's the way to win these things, and $10,000 into the bargain. So that's a great effort by Dean Canto, just 21 years of age from Sydney. Won the Konica V8 Supercar Series last year, driving a Falcon. And he's clocked up a lot of experience in a variety of different cars in a very short period of time.
Bit of ingenuity happening here.
Yeah, here's the battle for the $100 note. Thank you. Someone will be out to claim that, no doubt. So here comes the field, taking the applause of the crowd.
Will Power, we shouldn't lose sight of the fact that he did a great job yesterday as well, winning the opening encounter in the Gillette Honda Young Guns. Peter Hackett wasn't able to do too much with it, finishing third in this one, but it's Dean Canto, the winner on the streets of Surfers Paradise. Power home second, the gap 4.7.